a big fucking mistake coming here, Winston. But I can help you. Both of you.
If I were to describe night one in one word...
Explosive.
Homecoming.
The Continental, it really follows young Winston and how he became the head of the Continental. We're going to spend more time trying to dig deeper and answer some of the questions that the audience has, so we get to know more about these characters, more about these rules, more about this world.
Ah, I see what this is about.
In the movies, we don't know much about Winston. He's the only one that calls John Wick Jonathan. For us, that was the most compelling character to go, ooh, what if we start there?
Because of Winston's upbringing, there's definitely a scrappiness to him and a need for survival. He'll always put up a good fight. He just won't necessarily win that battle.
Winston gets plucked out of London into this dark world of New York in the 1970s.
It's a really big moment when him and Frankie meet.
It's the first time that the brothers have really talked as adults.
There's a lot of tension, there's a lot of anger and resentment towards one another, and there's also guilt. Winston is aware of how much Frankie sacrificed for him.
I think ultimately for Frankie, it was time for him to find happiness for himself. He'd found that for Winston, so it was his turn to find his own. The only way he felt that he could do that was with this coin press, take vengeance on Cormac and destroy the man that had ruined his entire life.
Mr. Flynn, shoot Mr. Avery for me.
But sir, the rules.
Oh, yeah, the fucking rules, yeah. You got me on a technicality there.
When we got a call that Mel Gibson wanted to do this, the 12-year-old boy in me was like, what? The guy from Road Warrior?
I think what makes an action film work is if you become involved with the protagonists. You have to hiss the villains and cheer the good guys, or the other way around. Are there any good guys?
Give me the pace. You really want to do this?
My favorite scene in night one is the intro of Frankie's character.
Lawrence?
One of the coolest things to me was action is a character.
Red light active.
You were able to get the stunt tape that choreographs all the movies.
Practically cut my teeth. One of the fight scenes.
Frankie stole something from me. It holds this entire establishment together.
The Continental represents a threshold. Once you cross it, there's no turning back. Katie's not somebody that really follows the rules. So when she's told,
You stay the fuck out of there.
the first thing she's gonna do is go in there. There's mystery. She's good at solving things. She's hot on the scent. So when she first goes into the Continental, there's an instinct in her that knows something's not right, but she's not turning back.
The part of Yen played by Kate, you have to find a Vietnamese woman who can do action. We're just blown away by what she can do. She brought weight to the character.
In 70s, in Vietnam, there's a slogan, when the enemy comes home, even women fight. So that shaped my character.
You thought you could outsmart the high table. How foolish of you.
Katie McGrath was fantastic as the adjudicator, and what's great about what she did with that role was she just had her eyes and her voice, but one tool was taken from her. The adjudicator is very mysterious. We want to know more about the motivations for that character.
You know, the music of the 70s and the soundtrack of the Continental is really Albert's vision.
What that did for me was unlock the visual side of it. It was inspiring to see that all this music can work together. And New York is almost the key to that because it's made up of all cultures.
We're a family of color in Chinatown with a dojo. But Lou is the center of her life. She doesn't like guns, she doesn't want to fire guns, but she can't get away from it.
Shoot him! Shoot him! Shoot him! Miles's relationship with Frankie runs really deep. I mean, they were in war together.
There's any bullets in those things, right?
So there's complexity there.
Lemmy is the perfect combination of action and comedy. Also, I wanted to learn how to change a magazine and a gun as quickly as John Wick does it. You see how fast that is? I learned that from Keanu.
So for Winston, there's this connection that he finally has.
Why didn't you just leave when you had the chance?
You're my brother, Frankie. You're all I have left.
I think it was important for Winston to make him vulnerable, that he actually evolved over the course of his life. You also get a sense of that toughness that we see in Winston in the movies.
What Winston was in the past is gone. He's now cold and vengeful, and he's on a mission.
I need guns. Lots of guns.
Sometimes you gotta make choices you don't want to protect the people you care about.
Frankie!
Maybe you'll get to understand that one day.